And joining us today in our book talk segment, great to welcome a man who's written a book that is very timely and very important, I would think, for most people. It's called Your Job and How Technology Will Change It. We're joined today by Richard Lieberman on the telephone. And Richard, I was fascinated to kind of read the book. I wanted to have you on to talk about it because I think every job is dealing with this, but particularly what I do in the broadcast world, that has really changed radically with technology. But it's not just that field. Everybody's going to have to kind of be tech-minded, right?
Well, yeah, Doug, thank you for having me. And, yeah, the book, Your Job and How Technology Will Change It, really talks about how in the very near future, technology is going to remake every single job, and every working person in every industry and profession will see changes as technology, social networking, virtual communications alter the way we work. And one thing we focus on is how most people, particularly people over the age of 40, don't fully understand these tech changes and are worried about their ability to adapt to changes in their job. And we try to help in terms of explaining what they can do to get ready now.
Used to be when you got a job, maybe only at the time called secretaries would really know how to type. Now everybody has to have some kind of skills on a keyboard just to even get in most jobs. So I mean that's one thing, and that took place a while ago.
Well, that's right, and again, there's particularly folks over 40. They've had a long career doing the same thing, and they think they can ride it out. But it's just not going to happen as we begin to work much more virtually, and as technology really is going to start eliminating the central workplace, being in the same physical location with people, meeting with them, and so on. We're going to be connected, virtually through what really look like social networks now. And that's the way we're going to do a lot of our business.
That really has changed the whole work dynamic. People now, like you said, can work remotely online. You're doing chat and, I guess, video chat now. That's getting more prevalent. But a lot of people, like you said, over the certain age, aren't used to that. Used to going to an office and staying there from 8 to 5. Now you can work at home, but you really have to have a whole different mindset to do that.
Well, that's right. Part of it is mindset, and part of it is just skills. Young people who grew up with technology, it's in their DNA. They are already working differently than people over the age of 40. There is a silent generation gap in the workplace, and a lot of times their bosses appreciate how efficient they are, and they can gather information and analyze it, and seem to be much faster. The bosses don't really understand what they're doing and how they're doing it. In fact, in some cases, the bosses are obstacles to the way they work. Well, what's going to happen is we start to move into actually working virtually, being connected with our colleagues 24/7, where we're communicating this way, we're accessing information from cyberspace. The younger people are going to really be able to do it so much better. And, folks over 40 are going to be disadvantaged and in some cases in danger of losing their jobs. So one of the reasons I wrote the book was really to talk to them about, various instructional things they can do to prepare themselves and to make the case that this actually is going to happen. Things are not going to stay the same.
Yeah, what would be the first thing? Let's say somebody has minimal skills with the technology. They may have a cell phone. That might be the as far as they've gone so far. But you're going to have to know a lot more than that. What would be the first thing they should learn or try to learn?
Well, there are a lot of things. I mean, one is skills in researching information from cyberspace. All knowledge involving your job and your business is going to be available to you via research, from a cloud. And knowing how to access and process relevant information, that's going to be a critical job tool, because that will define who you are in terms of your job skills and your knowledge base. So knowing how to do that, knowing how to filter this information, analyze it, and use it, is really going to dictate who you are in the workplace. So we talk about that in the book, how to do that, how that works. And it's not it's not that difficult. It's just a question of understanding it's important and beginning to practice doing it.
Yeah, I think everybody, in a sense, has to almost be a journalist, in a sense, finding information and disseminating information on their own. It's almost become, that's part of every job now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How far into this transformation do you think we are, Richard? I know technology changes by the second or by the minute, but are we at just the beginning of this? Are we in the middle of it, or how do you see it?
If you look around, it's already happening. But in the next few years, we're going to see a major, major change. And it's kind of like when we move from the agricultural into the industrial revolution. You know, it happened over a period of time, but then all of a sudden it really very quickly happened. And that's where we are now. It's this computer technology, Moore's Law, you're familiar with that, computer power doubles every couple of years. It's kind of like compound interest. At first, the changes seem very slow and small, then all of a sudden it becomes very rapid. That's where we are now, and that's been documented by many, many researchers. That's not just my idea. It's not my idea at all. It's what's really special about this book is I talk about how that change in technology, power, chips, sensors, broadband, and cloud storage, how that affects jobs, how that affects workers, how that affects, you and me. And that's really the first book to deal with that, your job and how technology will change it.
Yeah. Well, I know we have limited time today. It's a wide and vast topic, but you really get to the heart of it. Again, your job and how technology will change it is the name of the book. Surviving and Succeeding in the New Work World is the full title. Richard Lieberman has been our guest. And you have a website you want to direct people to, Richard?
No, I'm on Twitter under my name and Facebook, and you can get the book, bookstores, Amazon. It popped up on the bestseller business list for Kindle on Amazon last night, I'm proud to say. So
Great.
Go online and order it.
Also published by Management Books 2000 Ltd. Richard, pleasure to talk to you for a few minutes, and I look forward to doing it again. Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate it.